You're building your multiplayer game incorrectly, and I'm going to tell you why. When you go to test your multiplayer game in the editor, you probably notice that everything works perfectly. Things are adding up, everything looks fine. Then you go to test a shipping build on a live server, a dedicated server, and you realize everything's broken. What happened? The reason that happens is a single checkbox called Run Under One Process. It's on. It's been on since the day you made the project, because that's the engine's default setting. Nobody told you it was there until now. So what exactly does Run Under One Process mean? Think of it as reading and writing from the same notebook. The client and the server are supposed to be two separate programs, two separate notebooks. But when you run under one process, they become one. So let's say you've got a variable, and we'll call it gold. And you don't put it on your character, but rather you put it on a data asset, because that's what you've been told to do. Don't use hard references, don't cast everything, use data assets. It's clean, good architecture, and it can be. But because a data asset is in fact an asset, it gets loaded into memory once per program. So running under one process, your server and your client are both looking at the same one. Let me show you what I mean. Here's the setup. We're going to have two keys, the S key and the C key. Under the S key, we're going to add 100 gold, but we're going to add a switch has authority node to the S key so that only the authority pin is wired. This means only the server can ever change this number. The client doesn't know anything about it or shouldn't know anything about it. Now C isn't going to change anything. It's just going to print out what we can see. We're not going to do any replication. We're not going to do any replicated variables, RPCs, multicast, nothing like that. We don't need it. But when the server presses S 3 times, it goes to 300. Now, what would you expect to have happen? Well, I only told the server to increase the gold value by 103 times. That should mean the server should go to 300, but the client shouldn't know anything about this because we didn't tell it anything yet. But when we go back and press C on the client, it also says 300. That's not correct. It didn't calculate that. It wasn't told that. There's no replication. We didn't say it was replicated. Why did this happen? Because it read the server's memory, because it's the same notebook. So the short story is untick, run under one process. Nothing else changes. It's the same project, same graph, same keys. Now when we go to test it, we're going to, under the server, press S 3 times again, and that becomes 300. That's correct. Now, under the client, we're going to press C, and unlike the prior test that we did, it now says 0. Perfect. Well, sort of. It just proved that what we did was incorrect if we wanted to have a variable replicated, which is exactly what we want in the case of testing a multiplayer game. It told you the truth. That's what actual players would have seen. On their client, it would have said 0 because you only told the server to increase to 300 and it was not replicated. The fix to that would be to replicate that variable so that the client or the clients know about it. Just untick the box, right? That's all it is. Sort of. That'll fix it for you today until you forget about it or make a new project or upgrade the engine version to a new one, and yet again it comes back on. You could have to remember to uncheck it every single time, or I've simplified it. What you want to have in every one of your Unreal Engine games is a bat file. And that bat file will launch a real dedicated server with logging. So there won't be a game window or rendering or any of that, but you will get a log console and you can watch it. And that will act as your dedicated server. And it also launches clients. connecting to it over a real socket. So this means 2 programs, 2 notebooks, or however many clients you want to run. And the bat file doesn't care what your checkbox says, because being 2 programs is inherent in the batch file. It's not going to run under one process, even if that box is checked off, because just inherently the structure is dedicated server on one side, client on the other. It will always be separate. Now, there's one last thing to mention here, and you might have realized it already. Well, if my dedicated server and my client are on the same machine, there won't be any network latency. And the problem with that is you might not catch all the bugs that your game would normally have under real conditions if there's no latency. So instead of paying zero packet loss, which is completely unrealistic for a live environment, the batch file will ask you for what kind of connection you want to fake. And Epic's own number is 500 milliseconds round trip and 10% packet loss. We call that the brutal network simulation. That's what they test with. So imagine the bugs that you can find when your network is extremely laggy, and that's something that you should definitely start testing with in your own game to see what you can break and then solve. So to simplify this whole video, untick the checkbox that says run under one process. That will help you significantly, but a more permanent solution, look in the description below. I've included the batch file, and I've also included the raw text of that batch file. That way, if you want to edit it or change it to your liking, feel free to do so. Untick the checkbox, add the batch file to your project, and subscribe. Everything I used here, the bat file, the raw text, the demo project, it's all available on netcade.com. The link's below. It's free. There's nothing to sign up for. Netcade is a site I built for hosting games, videos, and music. So if you've made something, it doesn't matter if it's a downloadable or a web game or even just a prototype, you can put it up there for free and people can just play it. There's no cost or anything like that. If you have a multiplayer project that's broken and you don't know why, or you just need help with Unreal in general, feel free to come to our Discord and show me. I'll take a look at it.